Hi, future Vikings and parents. Welcome to Van Dyne. I am Mrs. Kessler, the principal. I want to start with a few things as we begin this video for informational purposes. Our doors open each day at 7:30 to welcome our Vikings. Our tardy bell rings at 8 o'clock. Anybody that comes in after 8 o'clock will need to be signed in by a parent at the SRO desk. We dismiss every day at 2:35. Please check the student handbook, which will be on Harmony when you register your child. Please read through that. There's a lot of good information about attendance that I would like you to know before starting school. We do have a sign-in policy for the safety of our students, so anyone that comes into the building will need to sign in, and that is also located at the SRO desk. For our school and our students to be successful, I like us all to work together. So we will send a background check form home the first week of school. This only needs to be filled out if you plan to volunteer for certain things in the building, whether it be class parties or just coming in to help a teacher in the classroom. That will need to be on file. There will also be a volunteer handbook upon registration. That is also something you will sign off on when you register your child, so if you'll make sure that you read through that and sign off on that if you plan to volunteer as well. We welcome everybody, and we love to have parents, guardians, family members in the building just to help out and to be seen and to make your kiddo successful here. One last thing, I just want to reiterate to definitely check the student handbook out, read top to bottom, lots of important information in there about every single thing that we do here every day at school. So I hope you enjoy the video. There are many people who will join us throughout this video with a lot of great information. Again, welcome to Van Dyne, and we cannot wait to have you the first day of school.
Hello, I am Marian Adams, and I am the Secretary Treasurer here at Van Dyne Elementary School, and I'm here to talk to you about the enrollment process. Our enrollment process is actually a two-part process where you enroll in the spring and then you'll register sometime within the week before school starts. We have some handouts for you tonight that you will enroll in the spring. The handout looks like this. You'll follow the instructions on enrolling online. You'll go to www.svcs.k12.in.us and click on Enroll a New Student. Follow the instructions and create a Harmony account, and just remember your username and password. Then you'll just wait, and near the end of July, 1st of August, you'll get an email from Mrs. Kessler or myself with a registration code. You'll need to go back into Harmony using that username and password and do the registration part of the two-step process. The registration, you'll make any changes to address, phone number, those types of things. And then you will also make sure that you put 4 different people on the emergency contacts besides mom or dad or the guardian, so that those 4 people can pick up your student. And then you'll also fill out any of the paperwork. There's quite a bit of paperwork. You can find free and reduced lunch application there, all of the paperwork that we'll need each year completed so that your child can have Tylenol here at school, those types of things. So that will be in the fall. Again, registration is a two-part process. In the spring, you'll go in and enroll your child online and then wait until the end of July, 1st of August, and then with the registration code that you get as an email, you will register. Just because you completed a form like this does not mean your child is actually enrolled. That form was only for kindergarten Roundup purposes. So make sure you do go in and enroll your child. You can find those handouts here tonight in paper form or on our website, or follow us on Facebook. That's the best place to find stuff about Van Dyne, is on Facebook on Van Dyne Elementary School. We also ask that the week before school starts, you call the SV Transportation Department at 765-832-2879 and find out what bus number your child will be riding and who the bus driver is for that bus. I think that is all I have for you tonight, so I look forward to seeing all of our kindergarten students in August.
Hi everyone, I'm Brittany Lowry. I'm the school nurse here at Van Dyne, and I'm just going to cover some basic school health related information with you guys before your kiddos start kindergarten. So first and foremost, the number one thing we need you to do is get them up to date on vaccines. So we do understand some kiddos may not be on the right schedule, they might be a little behind. So if that's the case, please let us know and just give us an idea of what your plan is to get them up to date as quickly as possible. Anyone else though, we do need you to make sure we're up to date by day one. If your kiddo requires a medical or a religious exemption, we do have a form for that needs to be filled out each school year, so just let us know if you need that. If you need a place to go, we do have a clinic here, the Vermilion County Health Department here in Clinton. They have several weekday options. They also do some Saturdays every month. So if you just give them a call, they can get you set up to get your kid in there and get them vaccinated. Also with that, there is some online enrollment paperwork, and there's something called a CHIRP release. If you go in and sign that consent, that lets your school nurse get on the online database and see your child's immunizations. Most of your kiddos have probably been enrolled through your doctor's office, and it's just a nice quick way for us to go in. We can see when they had their vaccines and make sure that they are up to date. So if you don't mind to sign that when you are filling out all your paperwork, that would be great. The next thing I want to cover is medical conditions. So we do have kids that have things like asthma, diabetes, allergies to various foods or environmental things that require EpiPens or just like antihistamines like Benadryl. If your kiddo has something like that, do meet with us and we will develop a health plan. If they require treatments or medications for their condition, we'll have to reach out to providers, get orders for all that. So just make sure you touch base with our nurse. Hannah is actually here tonight. She's our corporation nurse, Hannah Hoover. So she will be happy to answer any questions for you about that and get you all the necessary paperwork to get us started with the health plan. And then she will relay all of that information back to me before the school year starts. Let's see. Touching on the allergy thing, so we are not a peanut-free school, but we do have several kiddos with peanut allergies as well as other food allergies. So we want you guys to go over with your kiddos the importance of not sharing food, so we don't let them share food. That's snack time, lunchtime, on the bus. That's just to keep everybody safe. So make sure you're covering that before they come to school. Next, I want to talk about medications. So if your child will require a medication to be given at school, you will need to bring the medication in. I will check it. We will have it signed by another staff member. And then we will also reach out to the doctor who prescribed the medication and just get orders and kind of like an okay for us to give that medication at school. So if you have something like that, if you have it here with you tonight, you can drop it off or just get it to us within that first week of school, and we'll start doing that for your kiddo when they start. Next, I want to talk about illnesses. We have a 24-hour rule for things like fevers and vomiting. So if your child develops a fever, we require them to stay home for 24 hours after the fever resolves. So they need to be fever-free for 24 hours without any help from medications like Tylenol or ibuprofen. So if it stays down, they haven't had any medication. Once you hit that 24-hour mark, then they can come back to school. Same thing for vomiting. We want them to be 24 hours without vomiting before they come back to school. And then one last thing we like to cover is that kiddos a lot of times will have accidents this first year, especially kindergarten, getting adjusted to new schedules and things like that. So if you would like, we suggest packing an extra change of clothes in their backpacks, just in case they do have that accident. It's pretty common, and sometimes they like to have their own clothes to put on if that happens. So other than that, I think if you have any questions or you need paperwork like we talked about, just make sure you stop by and see Hannah tonight. She will get you everything you need and get you guys ready to get your kiddo here on day one of kindergarten. So thanks and have a good night and welcome to Van Dyne.
Hello, my name is Mrs. Downs and I am one of the 3 kindergarten teachers here at Van Dyne Elementary. Today I'm going to talk to you about getting ready for school and self-help skills. It's very important for students to have self-help skills before they even enter into kindergarten. So that's why we are giving you guys this video so you can have some things to work on them with. It's important that students are able to take off and put on their own coat without assistance. Sometimes we have 15 to 20 students in a class, and it is very difficult, almost impossible, to get 15 to 20 jackets on and still get outside to recess on time. If their sleeve is inside out in their jacket, I show them how to stick their hand in it and pull it out so it's the right side. So that would be something that you can work with them on at home. Also, tying their shoes. It's very important for them to be able to know how to tie their shoes. If they are unable to tie their shoes, you could always just put them in a slide or a slip-on shoe or something with elastic, something that doesn't require being tied. All kindergartners should be potty trained and fully independent in the bathroom. This means when they use the bathroom, they will go to the bathroom, wipe themselves, be able to pull their pants up and down, flush the toilet, wash their hands. If students are unable to button and unbutton their pants or unzip their pants, pull their pants up or down, I would suggest putting them in some sort of elastic waistband pants. Another beneficial thing is students should be able to secure themselves in their car seat if they are a car rider. Our car rider line and drop-off line is a very busy place, so we need students to be able to secure themselves or unsecure themselves in their car seat or booster seat. Some responsibilities at school are the students will be responsible for keeping track of their belongings. This includes backpacks, jackets, school box, lunch box, folders, crayons, anything like that. Students will be in charge of keeping track of those things. Students will also be expected to turn things in. So this will be if something is sent from home and you need me to have it, then students will be expected to bring that to me in their red folder. Students will be expected to put things in the right place. They have a morning routine that they follow every morning, and they will unpack, put their backpack and their jacket in their cubby, things like that. So they will need to be able to follow the steps and the directions. A few things that you can practice at home are following directions the first time given. So you could ask your child or your student to go get their shoes and put them on. This is a 2-step direction, and if they go get the shoes and they put them on, then they were able to do that. If they only got the shoes, then they were able to complete half of the step, and we really need them to work on being able to complete that task the first time we ask them. Also, you could give them chores to complete independently. These can be easy, simple things as just picking up clothes off the floor, letting the animals out, feeding the animals, helping unload or load the dishwasher, do the dishes. Anything like that will prepare them for kindergarten. Thank you.
Families, my name is Ms. Hamrick, and I am another one of the kindergarten teachers here at Van Duyn Elementary. And I'm just going to take a few minutes to go over some important information regarding morning drop-off and meals here at school. This will help make sure that your child has a smooth and happy start to each day. So let's start with morning drop-off. If you're dropping your child off in the car line, we just kindly ask that you say your goodbyes while you're sitting in the car before you get up to the door. This just helps keep traffic moving and make sure that everyone gets to school safely and on time. You will see teachers and our school resource officer outside every morning. We'll be there to help students out of the car and into the building. We do ask that you do not walk your child up to the building. I do know that can be tough, especially at first, but it really does help your child start building confidence and independence, and we will be right there to support them. We know that first week is a little different because it is their first week of school, but going forward, we do ask that you allow the teachers and the SRO to get your child out into the door. Let's go ahead and talk about breakfast now. So, when students arrive, they will go straight to the cafeteria to eat before they come to class. So, if your child does plan on eating breakfast, we just ask that you make sure that they arrive early enough that they have time to eat and still be in class ready to learn by 8 a.m. Our learning day starts right at 8 o'clock with a super important phonological awareness lesson. So, if they're coming in at 8 and still need to eat breakfast, they're missing that entire lesson. So again, if you could just get them here early enough, I would say 7:45 to 7:50 at the latest. That gives them plenty of time to get their breakfast, get into the classroom, put their things away, eat real quick, and then be ready for that first lesson. Breakfast is served every day, even on 2-hour delay days. Just make sure that your child has money in their lunch account. You can add money and check their balance using Harmony. If you are sending money to school, we ask that you put it in a very clearly labeled envelope or Ziploc bag. Make sure that your child's name is on it and also what the money is for. If there is any money left in their account at the end of the year, it will just roll over into the next school year. So now about lunches, your child will get a student ID number. This is the number that they will use to buy their lunches. They will need to type it in on their own, so please just practice it at home until they feel confident. Every day, students will choose between two options. They will have the option of a hot lunch or sun butter and jelly sandwich, and then they'll also be served fruit, vegetables, and milk with their meal. We will send home a monthly breakfast and lunch calendar so you can talk to your child about what they'd like to eat for lunch every day, if they want to pack their lunch or if they want to buy a school lunch. And lastly, we want to talk about independence. We work really hard to help our kindergartners grow in independence, especially in the cafeteria. So we will be encouraging them to open their own food and drinks, to clean up after themselves, and to carry their tray. So those are some little things that you can help them by just practicing at home. They really, truly do make a huge difference. Thanks so much for helping us make mornings run smoothly and positive. We are so excited to start the day with your kiddos.
Hi everyone, I'm Mrs. Leach and I'm one of the kindergarten teachers here at Van Dyne Elementary, and I would like to welcome you to our Van Dyne family. So I'm here today to talk to you about car transportation, and this will be for the students who do not ride the bus home, but the students that will be car riders. So to begin with, when you come to school at the end of the day to pick up your child at dismissal, we ask that you would pull into our Circle Drive, which is located in front of our main doors here at Van Dyne. And we would like for you to pull up as far as you can. And we do ask that you stay in your vehicle. Our staff will be bringing your child out to you, and we will load your child into your vehicle on the passenger side. So children that are using car seats and booster seats, we do ask that you have those in your vehicle on your passenger side. That way it will be easy for your child to load up and get inside. Your child will also need to buckle themselves in with their seat belts, and if for some reason your child cannot buckle themselves in, we just ask that you would pull up a little bit further in our Circle Drive where there's an opening, because this will keep the car rider line flowing, and it will also help you get out of your vehicle safely so that you can come around to the passenger side and buckle your child themselves. Also, you are going to be receiving a flyer that will have your child's name on it, and this flyer is to help our staff know which child goes to which vehicle. So when you receive this flyer, we just ask that you put this flyer in your vehicle on the passenger side window, and this will help staff to know which child goes to which vehicle. Another thing, we also know that during the school day, sometimes things happen and maybe you, the parent or guardian, are unable to pick up your child at the end of the day, and you may have to send someone else to pick your child up. We ask that you call our main office by lunchtime because this will give us enough time to write a pass for your child and get that to your child's teacher. Another thing that we ask is anyone who will be coming to school to pick up your child, we do ask that they are on your emergency contact list, which will be located in Harmony. So you will be filling out an emergency contact list during registration. So we just ask anybody that will be coming to pick up your child throughout the school year, they must be on that emergency contact list. Another thing, during warm weather, sometimes we have parents who pick up their child on a motorcycle or they arrive in some type of an off-road vehicle. So if that is the case, your child must have a helmet on when they leave our parking lot. So don't forget those helmets. If you have any questions, you're welcome to contact our front office and they will help you. And then throughout the school year, you also will be able to contact your teacher at the beginning of the year, and your teacher will help answer any questions about dismissal also that you may have. So again, welcome to Van Dyne. We're looking forward to having you part of our Van Dyne family.
Hello, my name is Rebecca Weber. I am one of the speech therapists for the South Vermilion Community School Corporation. I will be talking with you about speech and language pathology and how that plays a role in the school, especially for kindergartners. First thing I want to mention is hearing screenings. Now, this is something that is usually done in kindergarten, first grade, and fourth grade. This is mainly just to make sure your students are able to hear, and if not, we can refer them for extra testing. They are usually screened initially, and then again if they fail the screening, they are usually screened at 500, 1000, 2000, and 4000 hertz at 25 decibels. If they're able to pass, fantastic. If not, again, they'll be rescreened. If they fail again, then we will refer them for further testing or let you guys know more. I do believe Indiana recently changed their laws, so kindergarten does not need to be tested, but it depends on the speech therapist. They may still be tested just because that is something that definitely we want to make sure we catch early. Going further into the role of a speech language pathologist here at the school, and especially in kindergarten, I want to discuss something that some of the kindergartners may be able to experience, or the kindergarten teachers may do, or the speech therapist may do, and this is Brennan Bear, which is a basic concept course. The first part of that would be whole body listening. This is when we teach the kindergarten students more about how to listen appropriately at school. It includes your brain, your heart, your hands, your eyes, your ears, your mouth, your feet, and your whole body. It's basically a way for the students to get more of a visual on how they should be acting when they're listening. They need to look at the speaker, listen, keep their mouths quiet. Actually think about what the speaker is talking about. Be empathetic, especially when talking with peers, not be raving around and all of that, as well as not be looking everywhere else. So that way they can actually pay attention to what is being taught to them. Going further into Brennan Bear, again, this is a course that is usually done weekly for each class. It goes over basic concepts such as over, under, next to, beside, first, then, first, second, third, forward, backward, after, before, that kind of thing. And it's just kind of either to be a refresher for some students or to teach that concept, because it is something that linguistically they do need. Like I said, this is something that may be done in the kindergarten classes, or the speech therapist may do it. Just it's up to them and up to the kindergarten classes if they want to continue that, as well as making sure it's okay with you guys. The next thing I want to discuss would be normal developmental milestones. So I'll show you this. This is basically just when the sound should be produced, or when your student or child should be able to make a certain sound. One I want to stress would be the R sound. Now this sound, it did say that it should be there by 5, which fantastic if it is, but if it's not, please do not worry, do not stress. That sound is one that can range from 5 to 8 years old. So if they don't have it, it's okay. We can look at it, we can try to work on it indirectly, but who's to say if they will not get it sooner or later? I also want to stress blends, so ST, BR, stuff like that. If they're not able to say that blend, again, in kindergarten at the beginning, it's not something that should be overly concerning. Those are kind of more difficult, and we would expect them later on in kindergarten, like towards the end or first grade. So do not be too concerned with those right now either. Another one I'd want to discuss would be language. Now, like I said, speech language pathology kind of looks at both. Articulation would be the sounds. Language is more of how they're able to follow directions, if they're able to express their questions, their thoughts, their feelings, or if they're understanding what the teacher is saying to them. Warning signs for this would be if they're not able to focus in class, would kind of be a little bit of a warning sign. If they're not following directions, if they are struggling to categorize items or repeat sentences or describe anything, those would be something we will want to work on and be more concerned about. Overall, though, it's something that the teacher may refer about, or if you have concerns, by all means, don't hesitate to reach out. People are more than likely to help. We want to catch anything early. I will also leave a document here that does have some warning signs and items like that. That way we can fully make sure that items are given to you that you need. We look forward to seeing your students next year and can't wait to see how they do.
Hello, my name is Roundup, and this is
Ms. Howard. And Ms. Stebbins.
and we are the Title I teachers here at Van Dyne. We work with students in grades K, first, second, and third and fourth, and we provide children with reading strategies and work in small group instruction to help them to be more successful in the classroom. We give every student K through 2 a test called the Dibbles test, and we give it 3 times a year. We give it in August, December, and in May, and you will receive the results with your first report card, your second report card, and your last report card. Dibbles is a quick 4 to 6 minute assessment that measures early literacy skills such as letter, sound identification, sight word reading skills, and comprehension for the older students. This test also helps teachers identify students who are at risk for learning or reading difficulties, and also helps us to monitor their progress throughout the school year. The Dibble test that we give in December is also used as a dyslexia screener. If a child is flagged for dyslexia characteristics on this test, you will then receive a letter notifying of this, and then I will give you further steps of what we will do to help. How is a student chosen for title reading classes? What we do is we look at the Dibble scores from the three times we give it. If a child is flagged for being below their reading level at the time or well below reading level and with what they're doing in the classroom, we will send you a letter asking permission to be able to pull your child for a 30-minute small group reading time. We only work with 6 students at a time, so if when all three of us work with the group, there could be 18 kindergartners coming to us during that 30-minute block. No student will miss any new instruction by the teacher. The teacher will also be doing reading groups at that time that we pull the students. Some things that we work on in the classroom, we work on phonemic awareness, which could be rhyming, work on regular single sound words. We will be combining sounds to form a word, break apart words into sounds, and then maybe remove a sound and replace it with another letter to come up with a new word. So we work on phonemic awareness. We also work on phonics, which are where they have to tell us what letter begins with a certain sound or break a word into sounds. We also work on fluency, and that's where they may read things smoothly. It could be a group of letters reading smoothly, it could be reading words smoothly, and then also reading small passages at their level smoothly. And then we would work on comprehension, and that's where they will answer a question about the story we have read. some things you can do at home to help prepare your student for kindergarten is work on rhyming. So if you're outside playing, say, oh, I see the sun, give me a word that rhymes with sun, and they could say fun or run. You could say, I am thinking of a sound, and the sound is t. What is something outside or something you see that begins with a t? And they could say a truck. Or you're in a store, and you're in the grocery store, and you look at aisle and say, I'm thinking of something that begins with a. They could say apple. So you could do that in, different aisles that you're in. Also, just basic flashcards for letters. So maybe if your child doesn't know any letters, start with 5 letters, 5 cards, and just work on, identifying the letters, mix them up. Don't do them in order, A, B, C, D, E. Just mix them up, doing different letters in a different order. And then as they learn those letters, add 2 or 3 to the pile and work with those. And that would help us a lot with your child beginning kindergarten. We are looking forward to meeting you and starting our kindergarten year.